We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry
Well, hey YouTube, Madame Roy back again. I know it's been a while since I've done a cooking video, and seeing as this is the holidays, I have my festive shirt on. I figured it was about time to do another one. Now, as many of you guys know, I'm good friends with Chris Galosi of Galosi Enterprises, L.L.C. You'll see a link to his channel in this video. The other day, he and I processed some pumpkins that he had grown this year in his garden. And you can also see that channel, which will be listed down in the video description, along with the link to that particular video once it's up. What I'm going to do today is I am going to make some pumpkin bread, and this is the Better Homes and Gardens recipe. You can Google it, and I will post the recipe up along with this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you guys what you're going to need. Everything you're going to need to make this absolutely delicious pumpkin bread. You will need a mixer. It can be a stand mixer or one of those more powerful KitchenAid mixers, which I'm not fortunate enough to own. You're going to need an array of measuring cups and spoons. These are teaspoon, tablespoon, and cup measurements, dry that is. You're going to need some type of wet measurement. This is actually one from Pampered Chef. Actually, everything you see here, the measurement spoons, the cups, and everything are all provided by Pampered Chef. You need some ground nutmeg, oil. I like to use vegetable oil personally. This is actually a Pyrex wet measuring, so not everything is actually from Pampered Chef. Sugar, flour, salt. We have ground cinnamon, which I'll put over here by the nutmeg. Baking soda. Going to need something to spray your tins with. In this case, it's going to be Crisco. Eggs. And the fresh pumpkin, which is absolutely delicious. I'll give you guys a close-up. There you go. I wish you guys could smell this. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we need to do is measure out 3 cups of sugar. And you will need 2 bowls to do this. Right now I am going to do the wet ingredients. So for that we're going to beat the sugar, the oil. I'm actually reading it as we're doing this. Being sugar and oil and the eggs. Okay, now we need to do 1 cup of cooking oil. Alright. There we go. You pour that into the sugar mixture. Move some stuff over so you guys can see a little better here. Alright. The next thing is you have to do 4 eggs. Now, it actually says to put the eggs in separately, but I found that's not necessary. You're just going to mix it into the bowl here with everything else. So we got 1. And you want to be careful not to get some shells. The easiest way that I found to do it is to crack the egg on the side, 1 big crack, and then very carefully pull it apart, and then just let everything drip into the bowl. And there's a lot of eggs, there's actually 4 eggs in this. Alright. Now that we have the sugar, the eggs, and let's see, the cooking oil in here, we're going to go ahead and mix this up. Ugh. Get a little tongue-tied today. And it should look just like that, a nice egg mixture. So we're going to put that to the side. Now we're going to go ahead and work on the dry ingredients, which you do need a separate bowl for, which I have right here. We need to start with 3 1/3, actually, I'm sorry. Yep, we start with 3 1/3 cup of flour, which I'm going to have to go get some more flour as well. Again, I do have extra flour here, so I don't actually have to go out to the store and get it. Alright, next we need to do 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Don't confuse this with baking powder, everybody. A lot of people make that mistake. I have on a couple occasions. 1, 2. And then we need 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. 1 1/2. Okay. Now it comes to the fun part. We need 1 teaspoon each of ground cinnamon. It's easier just to stick it in there. And ground nutmeg is the next one. I like to do a heaping teaspoon of each of these. If you level it off, it's not quite enough for my taste, but that's just me personally. Okay, now what you want to do here is you don't really need to mix this a lot, but just take one of your measuring spoons and just go ahead and give it a slight mix. Okay, so we have our wet ingredients right here. We have our dry here. What I need to do now is take this Pyrex cup. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with 2/3 cup of water. So we have our 2/3 cup of water. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to alternate putting in our dry mixture with the water into our egg mixture. So I'm going to start with putting maybe about 1/4 of that in. And then I'm going to go ahead and start mixing. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of the water. You don't want the mixer on too high because it will start to splatter. The reason you do this is if you just added all the flour first, the flour mixture and then the water, it would tend to get gloppy and it wouldn't cook properly. So I'm going to add a little bit more of this flour mixture, probably about half of what I have left. Then I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the water. Because again, at this point, it's very, very watery because I haven't even added the pumpkin yet, and that's going to make it even more watery. Blend this or mix this at a medium setting. I can go ahead and add the rest of my mixture in here. Now you have to turn it up a little bit at this point because it's getting thicker. I can hear the mixer straining. Alright, and this is what you have right now. Kind of a gloppy little mess, but believe me, it'll make a delicious pumpkin bread. Alright, now the very last thing is to actually add the pumpkin. This recipe calls for 15 ounces, so I'm going to use my Pampered Chef measuring cup. I'm going to go ahead and dump the rest of the little bit of oil in there because I need to use it this way. What you do with this one is you push it down, and I'm going to set it for 15 ounces, which is just before the end on the bottom there. And now I'm going to go ahead and pack my pumpkin in there. We're not worried about being precise here. Well, not too precise. So I'm just going to use my hands to do it. Again, if a little bit falls in, you're okay. Some people are sticklers for getting the ingredients exact, but I found when baking, even if you're slightly off, it still tastes just fine. So I have this packed with pumpkin. Now I'm going to go ahead and shoot it into the bowl. And luckily there's so much water in there it doesn't stick, which is nice because it makes it easy to clean. Now, all we have to do is mix. Alright, and this is your final product. As you can see there, this is ready to go right into the tins, which we're going to do in just a minute. So stay tuned, everybody. Alright, now we're ready to put the pumpkin in the little containers. I just went to the dollar store and bought these. You get 3 of them for $1. They're a little flimsy, but because I'm going to be giving most of these away, they work just fine for my needs. Now, for each batch, what you're going to get is 2 loaves. So what you need to do before you put your batter in here, you need to spray the pan thoroughly. Very important. Just like that. And then what you need to do, go ahead and just pour it in. Again, this will fill up 2 of them. Now, I made the mistake the first time I did this of overfilling these. So you can only do them, you want to leave about a ½ inch at the top, which is just like this. Hope the camera can pick that up. There you go. See, just a ½ inch at the top there, because when it cooks, it's going to expand, and you'll have a big mess on your hands if you don't leave enough room. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to put these in the oven, and we'll be back. It takes about 60 minutes to cook, and it's at 350 degrees. All right. And here we have the finished product. They came out really nicely. I did have a little over spillage, so this was actually the first batch. The one you saw me make is this. I haven't actually put those in yet. But this is exactly what they're going to come out like. And the spillage even cooked into a couple nice little pumpkin breads of their own. So I'll keep these, and I'm probably going to give these to a couple of friends. So this is a quick and easy recipe. You can use canned pumpkin. I used the fresh pumpkin that we prepared, but canned pumpkin would work just as well. Perfect for a holiday snack or something you can bring to one of those Christmas parties that we all have this time of year. Please remember to check out Chris Galosi's channel on the preparation of the pumpkin for this. Please like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.